Scáthach. Scáthach, Scáthach, class name Lancer, Ransa, is a Lancer class servant summoned by Ritsuka Fujimaru in the Grand Orders of Fate/Grand Order. Scáthach was a female warrior queen from Celtic mythology WP's Ulster Cycle WP. The queen and gatekeeper of the foreign territory/haunted ground called the Land of Shadows, Kage no Kuni, she is a prodigy of spearmanship and rune magecraft. She possesses a power immense enough to obtain control over and close the gate of the Land of Shadows, which is overflowing with countless ghosts, to ward off the dead. It has been said that she became the mentor of Ku Chulainn, who would later grow into the hero of Ulster, guiding him, teaching all sorts of techniques and even bestowing his favorite magic spear. She also instructed his son, Conla WP. Personality: a beautiful young woman who possesses a light disposition, a queen and a teacher proven to be reliable, and for some reason or another, has the flavor of an elder sister that lives at the house next door. She can still go on. Proud and not serving anyone. A member of the ruling class from birth. Possessing the traits of a monarch, Scáthach holds the ideal of reigning as a queen that bestows happiness to the people as self-evident. Overflowing with talent, she herself understands more than anyone else that she is different from the mediocre. Because I am superior, I will rule over the masses. Ruling the masses is the duty of the ruling classes. That being the case, rather than granting her own desires, happiness, to rule for the sake of the masses, or some such appears to be the natural thing to do, something of which can be said to be her thought on this matter. Although her mind has no intention on becoming a slave for the masses, she has absolutely no hesitation in refining herself for the sake of the people under her rule and their happiness. A wise woman who grasps every incident and all origins, but does not speak of these understandings. To say why she doesn't talk about these, concerning her, she already moved on from this world. For example, even if the world falls into a crisis, it would be a discourtesy to those who presently live in the world to personally resolve the problem and have herself stand out, since it will result in those people's opportunity for growth to be taken away. Ku Chulainn says that her warlust would be enough to make that Tosaka girl run away on her bare feet. It has been said that her way of being and red-colored eyes are close to a certain individual that existed in Tokyo during the 20th century. Legend. Many things. Truly, I robbed many lives. A man. A wraith. A god. I've confronted many existences of a countless number, slaughtering all those near me. Fight. 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 Kill, 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 kill. In the end, this body was wet with the blood of many victims, and became immortal. The territory under my rule, the Land of Shadows, was ultimately forced out to the outside of the world, and I ended up being promoted into an existence no different than that of a divine spirit. I will not grow old. I will not die. I've changed into that which is immortal. Sure enough, I can no longer remember exactly how much time have passed since the first time I picked up a spear in my hand. It is different from something good. I, who stood on the haunted ground and guarded the gate, already since acquired the wisdom of the abyss, so I am able to measure the exact time. However, I simply do not feel like doing it. It is different from melancholy. It is also different from resignation. Regret? I do not understand. I can say that, but I am unable to affirm it. At least, during the interval where I slaughtered many things, there is certainly something that exists within the present me, something that did not exist within my feelings around the time where I was conducting my teachings towards the brave warriors of Ulster WP. Ah, indeed. Guiding the many brave warriors considerably. Everything should have faded away at the end of the many passing months and years, but in the middle of my memories that is preserved in a condition that is intentionally kept obscure, one person. There is only one person, a man with his figure displayed clearly to me even up to now. Red eyes. His pair of eyes. Only in the time where that radiance passes by my mind, what's inside this chest calms down. Warmth dwells within myself, which is immutable for eternity. A heart wishing for reunion. That is not the way it is. That I can affirm. If then, what is it there? To say firmly, as thus, to that man. I want you to kill. I want death as a person. Of course, if that man who now became a heroic spirit talks about having the strength to kill this person who is an existence that already parted with the glimmer of life and slaughtered even gods, then. Abilities. Being a genius in spearsmanship and rune magecraft, Scáthach is famed as Ku Chulainn's mentor and the queen of the Land of Shadows. No longer human, she was an elite warrior, an expert in magecraft, and slayer of people, wraiths, and gods. As the result of being a human standing too close to the realm of the gods, she incurred the reward of ascending to a plane that is neither part of the current world or the next, left behind in the outside of the world. Guarding the land of shadows, she fights off the dead, including powerful beings such as near-gods, with only the power of a human body. Having changed halfway into a divine spirit at the end of many years, Scáthach became an immortal existence. As one of the few immortal servants, Scáthach must simply continue to exist, until the time when the world, and its outside, finally disappear. Because she is a special being beyond human, the Holy Grail cannot rule over her, and it is normally impossible for her to materialize as a heroic spirit. However, during the Grand Order where all of humanity had been incinerated, so was her realm. Being technically dead, she was able to get summoned in the North American Singularity. Combat. Scáthach states that Li Shuwen's technique is quite impressive, making her itch for a good fight. He has a great potential plaything, and if they were in the land of shadows, she would train him right away. Charlemagne was able to block Scáthach's surprise attacks, saving Robin Hood's life. Scáthach states that she should have expected for him to have some skill. To Charlemagne's surprise, when he countered with another strike, she dodged it rather easily. Despite having perfectly concealed his intentions, and read the distance between them rather well, Scáthach states that he is still young. With a few more blows, Scáthach was able to overpower him, telling him that putting his swordsmanship aside, he is a fledgling with still much to learn. Thanks to Cu Chulin's arrival to help Charlemagne, their combined efforts were able to defeat Scáthach. Skills. Magic resistance. A rank nullifies magecraft spells that are rank A or below. Modern mages would not be able to wound Scáthach with their magecraft. Primordial rune. Rank Scáthach has possession of and knowledge about the primordial runes that came from an older era. Those with possession and knowledge of primordial runes can also make use of the classic rune magecraft. She has runes hailing from Scandinavia, almost known as Scandinavian magic crests. These runes are different from the runes modern magi use. These are primal runes with the power of the Age of Gods. Because of the Norse chief god Odin, they had spread throughout the world. She, who granted Cu Chulainn 18 primal runes, is as strong in magecraft as she is as a warrior. Wisdom of Dun Scaith, A+ rank the intellect of the abyss, acquired as a consequence of surpassing humanity, killing gods, and being left behind in the outside of the world. With the exception of those particular of certain heroes, almost all skills can be displayed with a proficiency level of B or rank. Also, only towards those she has recognized as true heroes, it is also possible to teach such skills. During combat, a skill that she often employs is the foresight of battle conditions by means of clairvoyance. Even in Ulster mythology, she often predicted the future with such foresight, even the final moments of her beloved pupil Cu Chulainn. Godslayer, B rank as the demonic realms, the shadow realms, gatekeeper. Scáthach's continual slaying of multitudes of divine spirits has manifested as a skill. This skill is super effective against divine spirits. A plus modifier is gained when attacking divine spirits, wraiths, and servants with the divinity skill. Noble phantasms. Gibalg alternative. Scáthach has not only one, but two specialized weapons similar to the spear that Cu Chulainn possesses. Known as Gibalg alternative, they are one step older than Cu's model. When the true name is activated, its capabilities combine the two functions of Cu Chulainn, Lancer, S noble phantasm, barbed spear that pierces with death and soaring spear that strikes with death. First, a close-ranged attack from a demonic spear would rob the enemy's movement by pinning them in a spot in the air, and a second demonic spear would strike through everything if thrown at full might. Obviously, any enemy caught in the line of the thrown spear would be killed. Gate of Sky. Scáthach's main noble phantasm is Gate of Sky. With it, Scáthach can temporarily summon a massive gate to the land of shadows that sucks in all life forms in range. If the target fails to resist it with one's mana or luck stat, they're sucked into the gate and are instantly killed. Scáthach can choose specific targets on whether to allow them access or not. Even if resisted, the target's mana is rapidly drained and they take major damage. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.